Hello and welcome to the Neville Richards Premier League. We're getting to the pointy end of the season. Matty, welcome along again.
Hello, Hazy. How are you? Big
well,
weekend, and how are you feeling? You've been a little bit under the weather the last couple of days?
Just struggling a little bit through the carnival, but we've made it to the end. It was a good week.
Yeah, okay, so hence no frothy for you? Just feeling under the weather?
Just a quiet one here on the side today.
Oh, very good. But yeah, no, it was a big weekend on Saturday.
I just want to know, or maybe we should I'll come to this question in a minute. Sorry, we should probably just edit that out because this is very unprofessional. We're going to do the Warriors game second, but I am interested in the sanctity, the safety, the security of the pro shop. Maybe we should come to that later.
Yeah, we might come to that later, but at the moment it's intact. It's in one piece.
Okay, all right. Well, more of that a little later on. As you said, 2 semi-finals as we resumed on Saturday. Top of the table Bullies and the Pirates with a double chance, and the Pirates are going to need it.
They will, yes. The top of the ladder Bullies were too good for the Pirates, 202 to 191. So that makes the Bullies straight into the grand final in 2 weeks' time, which they're all pumped about. The Bullies had 11 players, while the Pirates had 10. For the Bullies, we had Kevin Hudson. First game back after nearly losing half his hand from surgery. He's chimed in with 39 points, so welcome back, Kev. And the Bullies obviously missed you, so that was a fantastic effort there.
Huge effort.
Yeah, Phil Stevens had 34, Ange Foote 34, Pete Vogel 32, Sean Rodwell 32, while Richard West and Jed Edmondson 31s were counted scores. While for the Pirates, the fill-in captain Darren Heaton had 37, Ribs King had 33, Jerry Raviani 32, Justin McGrath 30, Toby Prime had 30, and Yvette Pollock was 29. That rounded out the scores for the Pirates, but yeah, they went down by 11 points.
It does sort of surprise me that Toby's score counted. I mean, I did witness it firsthand, and it wasn't pretty.
Yes.
It sort of sums up if that sort of rubbish counts.
Yeah, well, when you have a look at the photo here of where he was playing the ninth hole, you can see why 30 points only scores for him.
Yeah. Anyway, they've earned the right to another crack at it, the Pirates, so
yeah,
the defending champions aren't quite dead yet.
Yeah, well, the Bullies, they were always in control from the outset, with Phil Stevens, Ange Foote coming in with 34s each really early, and then Kev Hudson with his first game back after it was actually life-threatening hand surgery that he had.
Life-threatening?
Life-threatening, I was told.
Really?
So he had the 39. The Pirates, they just weren't quite on the same page, even though Darren Heaton come in with the 37, and it was left to the PM players for both teams to try and get their team over the line. But the best for the Pirates was Ribs King 33, Jerry Raviani 32, and then the best of the Bullies only scored 32 as well. So I'm not sure whether conditions were better in the morning or not, or whether the pressure of having to perform for their team sort of didn't really work for the Pirates. But
did Ribs sort of sneak in and say, how many do I need?
No, he's probably oblivious to it all because he lives in his own world. So yeah, it's all about him. But no, he wouldn't have had a clue what was required.
Okay.
So the Bullies now have the luxury of the week off to prepare for the grand final, while the Pirates will go into the must-win prelim against our next match.
Yeah, and there it was, a massive showdown between the Warriors and the Tornadoes. Losers gone, third versus fourth. And it was an absolute epic nail-biter.
It was. Then the Tornadoes got over the line, 201 to 199.
Wow.
Tornadoes had 11 players, while the Warriors had 9. For the Tornadoes, they had James Finch, one of our early morning players, had his best score for the season with 39. Dale Pollock returned to form with 35. Steve Bond 32. Toot Madden 32. Ando Wooten 32. And Collies Bell 31. While the Warriors actually, they had a phenomenal performance by Gary Haywood.
Outstanding.
He had 43 points, and unfortunately wasn't enough for the Warriors. But yeah, 43, won the medal.
Is there a Travis Matthew in the?
No. Travis Matthew and Callaway balls are just for regular season, so stiff shitsky Gary on that one. But yeah, he had 43, even with a double bogey on the 15th.
Oh wow!
And then the triangle.
Yes.
He just went a little. I think from his scorecard it was birdie, par, birdie.
He played the triangle 2 under.
Mm-hmm.
Gary Haywood.
So Gary Haywood was the star. Then they had the 143-year-old Pete DeFazio had 34 points. Brian Bell 31, Matt Miles 31, Paul Kirby 30, Neil Howard 30, and Julie Milne 30.
So walk me through Matt Miles' 31. Could it have been any better?
Well, it could have been, like, as we were playing stroke on Saturday, and I did receive a video here which we'll just overlay here of Mr. Miles on the 11th hole, and he made 11 on the 11th.
11?
An 11 on the 11th. And,
wow.
And it was so self-gratifying that he decided to send the video in himself. It wasn't from anyone else, it was from him. So
good on you, Milesy.
Yeah, so yeah, it's good effort there, Milesy. Nice windy. But yeah.
I like that you've owned up to it. That's true Premier League.
Well, I'm sure the boys would have got stuck into him and sent it to me as well anyway. But yeah, it was a complete opposite of their last two meetings with only 2 points separating them, where previously there was nearly over 20 points between both ones. But yeah, Flea got them off to a good start, the Tornadoes, with his 35, and then Ando 32, and then James Finch came in with that 39. That, as I said, it was his best score for the season by 4 points. The Warriors were just treading water with Milesy and Pete DeFazio and Skeeter, but then Gary Haywood come in with that 43, and that appeared to be a match-winning performance through the day.
Was even a bit of confusion in the pro shop. I'm going to dob you in.
Yeah, there was. I was doing some pre-tallying of the scores, and I may have told a person that the Warriors were going to win. I won't say that the person I told was my mother, but and then Norma Vogel from the Tornadoes congratulated her on the win, but I actually missed counting Collisbell's score, which was 31. But anyway, the Tornadoes was too good for them. As I said, the PM players even in this game couldn't do it, because even in that, the best individual score from both teams was 32 in the afternoon by Steve Bond, Toot Toot Madden. So,
can I be shining a light on someone or two people who've been pretty good players?
You can shine a light. Who would you like to shine on?
Would that be okay?
Yeah, sure.
Well, Ian Loughlin's been a pretty solid performer for the Warriors. How did he go?
He had 28, not a counting score.
Now, this one really, as I asked this question, I'm preparing my insurances for this question, but is the pro shop standing? Did Jill Barker have a good score?
Jill Barker 29. So I went in this morning to grab some stuff for the video, and sheets were still up, so that was a bonus. Nothing was off the walls, but yeah, I suppose for those two golfers who have been, I suppose, forceful in their views on certain times, that yes, unfortunately for them, they are out.
Forceful in their views.
Yeah.
That's the politest thing I've heard you say all year.
Yeah, so I think Mr. Loughlin would be a bit spewy on that, and I think the Warriors would be. It's disappointing for them. They've been up there all year, and to go out in the first week of the finals, but then again, it might spur them on for next year to try and get into the top two and get that double chance, because they did have that the previous week.
True. I sort of, that'd be a leading contender if we were to adjust the rules next season and have teams sort of maintain some sort of semblance. I reckon they've got a good spirit, the Warriors.
They have, yes. Yeah, they've got a good nucleus there of the team, and yeah, that could be something we look at next year. That we'll see what happens with that side of it. But the Tornadoes, they've secured their preliminary final spot against the Pirates next week.
Well, let's get straight into it. It's going to be a lot of tension around the place. You can feel the buzz around the place on Saturday morning, and it's only going to get more the next couple of weeks, isn't it? Yeah,
well, it has been noticed by a lot of people that they are checking the scores, which has been fantastic of their playing partners and their teammates, but also the opposition. So the Bullies don't have to worry about it this week. They're straight in, and they can just work on their game, while the Pigden Street Pirates will be up against the Tower Road Tornadoes, and what a preliminary final it's going to be.
Have you got any thoughts on the key matchups or who has to lift?
Yeah, well, both of the teams have been around the top four all year.
Yep.
Tornadoes only snuck in at the last minute in the last round to make finals. During the seasons when they've met, round two, it was 196 to 196. Draw.
Yeah.
And then the Pirates in round 8 won 180 to 172, but that was in quite a low scoring match. In both games, the Tornadoes had the Sword,
Shawnee,
Flea, Ando, Isbell and Madden perform, while the Pirates had Mirrors, Heaton, McGrath, Joy Bell and McNeil.
I remember that name.
So do I. He was like our all Portarlington player last year, and
really
it's been a fall from grace, hasn't it?
Well, how did he go on the weekend? Do you want to?
Well, I don't want to reveal it. I think it's probably better coming from you, because you're the one who's called him the big strong man all year, and he's a plumber and all that sort of jazz. He would have had, what, 35? 32?
I'll just run down the list, because you rank them in order here. Just scaling, coming down.
You've got to keep going. Keep
Joy,
going.
John Powell, 21, not ideal. 15? Did he only play 9 holes?
No, I think it was 18, but he wanted to play more to try and boost the score.
Mickey! Oh my goodness. I did see it, to be fair, I did see him out there, and he was on the 15th, and he told me he had 10 points to that stage, so he has rattled home.
So he's had 5 through the triangle.
Yeah, he's had 5 through the triangle, so that's an encouraging sign at least.
Yeah, well, he actually had his 3-iron returned to him after snapping it the previous week, and that obviously didn't help his game, but this is going to be a grudge match of massive proportions. Now, if you do see police crime services going down to the St Leonard's area of Portarlington, don't be alarmed. We have the Pollock household. Flea Pollock for the Tornadoes against Mrs. Flea for the Pirates. Two of the most competitive players will front up against each other this week. Now, we joke about food poisoning, we joke about laxatives in food. Like, surely there's a high probability of something's going to occur this week. We have Ando and the Sword up against Mickey. Not much of a contest, seeing McNeil has lost his mojo. He's actually lost everything, I think, Hazy. Should have seen his scorecard Saturday. It was like a phone number. It had 5 7s, 1 8 and a 9 in it. He had 2 pars on for the day, 1 on 10. He's had a par on 10 and 1 on 13.
He was actually reading the numbers out, just a couple of people on course, and they thought he was ringing Malawi.
Yeah, so he was no good. But looking ahead, we've got Toot Toot Madden, normally an afternoon player. He's moved to the morning on Saturday. He has a bit of a Bucks party to attend that he cannot miss, apparently.
Really?
Both teams appear to have a couple of players missing on the timesheet at the moment. The Tornadoes will be missing Norma Vogel, that's a definite, while Steve Bond is not down. Ooh. But the Sword will return from Thailand. What kind of sword will we have back? It's not a good track record for people returning from Thailand, but
hopefully it's a healthy sword.
Well, I hope he's in good form. He's a single bloke, not sure what he's been up to. Hope he didn't get caught with any ping pong balls or blow darts. And I hope he looks for Adam's apples. But it could have been the freshen up he needed, as he was atrocious. You're right there?
Oh, Adam's apples. Does he play for the Bullies or the Tornadoes? I'm not sure.
No, he's in the Pirates.
Pirates.
But the Sword was atrocious the last 3 games. He had 27, 26 and 28. The Pirates haven't got round 3 hero John Powell.
Yes.
Compose yourself, Mark.
Yes, I'm back.
But the Pirates, they haven't got John Powell, round 13 hero, and Darren Heaton could be playing funny buggers again, because he hasn't even got his name on the timesheet. I reckon he's just looking for a tornado to inflict himself on.
We've come so far this year, and who would have thought that there was an Adam's apple that sort of threw us under the bus? But never mind. How's that beer going down?
Oh, great. But anyway,
I'll get it together.
Recent form sees the Pirates have had a 2-win, 3 losses over the last 5 rounds, while the Tornadoes have 3 wins and 2 losses. But their ratios finished with 2 straight victories. Regular season only saw 2 points difference on the ladder. Tornadoes had the high percentage and were the high scoring team of the 2 mark.
I can't see anything now. So.
But if we go further ahead and look into the grand final for the Bullies, who would they prefer to play?
That's a really good question.
Tornadoes, round 4, they lost 206 to 205. Round 11, they defeated them 195 to 189. While if they play the Pirates, they lost their first encounter by 14, then they won their second encounter by 14. and then they won the qualifying final by 11. So
yeah.
it'll be interesting. Not sure who the Bullies would prefer, but it's going to be a good contest on Saturday.
I'm a bit sort of lost for words now. I'm sorry for that. We should just mention before we go, the Drayton Medal night, the presentation night on Grand Final Eve, or not Grand Final Eve, the night of the Grand Final when we crown the champions of the Neville Richards Premier League for 2023. Ticket sales or ordering, Matty, it's coming along pretty well.
It is, yes. We've got 78 people already registered. As we are in the view room, we are limited to numbers a little bit there. So if you haven't registered, so as we've sent out in a previous video and correspondence, that even though you are a player and it is free, you still need to register your intention to come to the dinner. If you wish to bring on your partner, you can do that. It's $50 for them, and you can enter them at the same time and pay for that online there as well through the Ivy platform, which we might put at the bottom of this email as well, so you can click in through there. If you are having any issues, you can see us in the Pro Shop or Kaylin at Member Services, and we'll be able to put you in there. But yeah, we've got 78 registered, which is great. We have got some members who even aren't a part of Premier League that want to attend, so if you can let us know sooner rather than later to ensure that you do get a spot on the night. But yeah, we will award the Drayton Medal. Last year's winner, Yanni Lathouris, I'm pretty sure he won't win because he was pitiful this year. Then we also have the All Portarlington team and also our PP team. So it's going to be a great night, a bit of entertainment and a bit of banter. What are you going to be going as, Mark? You got a little outfit?
I'll have something, but I'm not sure what it'll be just yet.
Actually, I've heard some information about Flanders.
Oh, really?
Yes, we won't reveal all until the evening of presentation night, but yes, he's gone out and got his outfit already.
Has he really?
Already prepared 3 weeks out.
Wow.
So,
has there been any interest from Bangkok and people wanting to come along and be part of the evening?
Well, apparently Sean might come dressed that way. Who knows?
Anyway, we'll send out information on that night again, or links to the Ivy booking system. Just put your name down. You don't have to pay if you're a player. Just remember that. Just have to put your name down to make that booking. So,
yeah, it's a great night. Everyone has a good time. It's not even though it's a vote count as such, we do have a bit of entertainment in there, and we slide through. There will be some live music as well. Hopefully, it won't be Toby Prime or Lee McMuffin doing that, but yeah, we'll have an entertainer on board to provide some entertainment on the night outside of ourselves.
Well, that's it. We now look forward to the Pirates and the Tornadoes in the big preliminary final this Saturday for the right to play the Bullies for all the marbles the following week. Matty, thank you. Sorry I brought you undone there.
Thank you, Mark. I didn't realise I was so funny.
That's it for the Neville Richards Premier League show. Big thanks to Neville Richards, Luke Campbell and his team, of course, and we haven't got the paraphernalia today, but the Callaway crew, Travis Matthew, and of course, the Your Golf Pro man here himself. Thank you.
Thank you, Hazy. Looking forward to this Saturday.
Oh, fuck. I've absolutely lost my mind.